Welcome everyone to the Wednesday night quiz. You've got myself, Chris, as always. And as always, the trusted mascot. So Bailey's playing with his teddy, and you've got Milo that just looks like what the hell's going on. But yeah, welcome back. It's the Wednesday night quiz, so it's something a bit unusual. There was some requests on the Friday night big one last week about doing another night, so here we are. So it's a little bit different. As always, the Friday night quiz is going to continue. That's going to be live on Facebook and, of course, available on YouTube as well. But tonight's quiz is going to run like this. We're going to have rounds 1, 2 and 3, similar to normal. Then we'll do the answers for 1, 2 and 3. And then we'll move on to round 4. And then round 5, which is like a quick fire round. So there's only 5 questions in that one, so the five rounds in total. So it is a bit shorter, the Wednesday night one. And just to remember, still love you to pop your comments below. I will go back through them and keep you up to date with your scores. The beauty of tonight, and it not being live, I suppose, is you can pause and go back if you need to, if you've missed anything or I'm going a little bit too quick or what have you. So that's one good thing. However, we will miss the interaction side of things as well, so that'll be back on Friday. So hope you join me there as normal. And yeah, that's it really. That's how it's going to work. So there's 5 rounds in total, the last round being a shorter quick fire round. And yeah, let's see how you all do. So hopefully you've got your pens and papers at the ready, and whoever you're playing against, hope they're ready as well. So let's crack on with round number 1. Okay, so here we go with round number 1, the true and false round. This has been in there if you've been playing for a while, for a number of weeks. So a nice easy chance to make up some points, with it being 50-50 of course. So question number 1 in the true or false round is: cyclones spin in a clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. So remember, true or false in this one. The number 1, cyclones spin in a clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. I can see Milo having a good think. Or is he just going to sleep? The effect they have on people. And question number 2, the Channel Tunnel is the longest rail tunnel in the world. So number 2, the Channel Tunnel is the longest rail tunnel in the world. And number 3, Stephen Hawking declined a knighthood from the Queen. So number 3, Stephen Hawking declined a knighthood from the Queen. And number 4, Nicolas Cage and Michael Jackson both married the same woman. So number 4, Nicolas Cage and Michael Jackson both married the same woman. And number 5, the Statue of Liberty was gifted from France. So number 5, the Statue of Liberty was gifted from France. And number 6, the first tea bag was made of silk. So number 6, the first tea bag was made of silk. And number 7, Meghan Markle's first name is actually Rachel. So number 7, Meghan Markle's first name is actually Rachel? And number 8, a female has walked on the moon. So number 8, a female has walked on the moon. And number 9, Netflix began as a DVD rental service. A DVD rental service. So number 9, Netflix originally began as a DVD rental service. And number 10, your final one of round 1. Canada has the biggest coastline of any country in the world. So number 10, Canada has the biggest coastline of any country in the world. Biggest or longest, either or. And that's your 10 questions of round 1. And Bailey's still there, he's just hiding behind me. So that's your 10 questions of round number 1. So let's move on to round number 2. Okay, so round number 2 then is the music round, and it's a music mix-up. That being because it's a mixture of years, this category. So, question number 1 then. Who is the lead singer of Pulp? So question 1. Who is the lead singer of Pulp? And question number 2. Who had a hit with Bop in April 1997? So number 2. Who had a hit with Bop in April 97? And on to number 3. Which former Beatle had a number 1 hit with Stevie Wonder in 1982? Got that wrong. So number 3. Which former Beatle had a number 1 hit with Stevie Wonder in 1982? And number 4, which Frankie Goes to Hollywood song was banned by the BBC? So number 4, which Frankie Goes to Hollywood song was banned by the BBC? And number 5, it's a bit of a long question. So, which children's characters, famous for living on Wimbledon Common, released several novelty singles in the 70s? So number 5, which children's characters, famous for living on Wimbledon Common, released several novelty singles in the 70s? And number 6, John Denver's song, Take Me Home, Country Roads, is about which US state? So if you think about the song, sing it in your head. So number 6, John Denver's Take Me Home, Country Road is about which US state? And of course he mentions it in the song. So. And number 7, how many UK number 1s did Elvis Presley have in the 60s? So number 7, how many UK number 1s did Elvis Presley have in the 60s? And number 8, which American singer-songwriter sang of falling into a ring of fire? So number 8, which American singer-songwriter sang of falling into a ring of fire? And number 9, which British boy band made a comeback with Patience? So number 9, which British boy band made a comeback with the song Patience? And number 10, in the 2000s, what year did Kings of Leon release the chart topper Sex on Fire? So number 10, in the 2000s, what year did Kings of Leon release the chart topper Sex on Fire? How are we all doing? How was them first 2 rounds? I must say I've gone for the relaxed look tonight, but it is Wednesday after all. Okay, so on with the last round of this half anyway. So round number 3, I'm going to move on to food and drink. Okay, so food and drink round number 3. Question 1. What is James Bond's favourite tipple? Should be a nice easy one to start with, but let's see. So number 1, what is James Bond's favourite tipple? And number 2, what type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? So number 2, what type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? And number 3, which nuts are used in marzipan? So number 3, which nuts are used in marzipan? My favourite. And question number 4, which bakery launched a sellout vegan sausage roll in January 2019? So number 4, which bakery launched a sellout vegan sausage roll in January 2019? And number 5, what is the best-selling soup flavour in the UK? So number 5, what's the best-selling soup flavour in the UK? Is that the obvious one, or is it something different? And number 6, how many calories does a glass of water contain? So number 6, in total, how many calories does a glass of water contain? And number 7, grenadine is obtained from which fruit? So number 7, grenadine is obtained from which fruit? And number 8, deer meat is known by what name? So number 8, deer meat is known by what name? I don't mean as in expensive, I mean as in the animal deer. And number 9, Bacardi is what type of spirit? So number 9, Bacardi is what type of spirit? And number 10, from which type of flower does a vanilla pod come from? So number 10, which type of flower does a vanilla pod come from? And that's your round 3 completed as well. So how are we all doing so far after those first 3 rounds? Well, we shall find out in a second. I'll go through the answers for them. You can let me know what sort of scores you're getting so far, see where we're up to. So let's move over to the answers for rounds 1 to 3. Okay, so the answers then for round 1 first of all, which was a true or false round. And number 1 was cyclones spin in a clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere, and that is true. It's true for number 1. And number 2, the Channel Tunnel is the longest rail tunnel in the world, and that is false. It's actually there's one in Switzerland, the Gotthard base in Switzerland. It's 4 miles longer apparently. And number 3, Stephen Hawking declined a knighthood from the Queen, and that's true as well. And number 4 was Nicolas Cage and Michael Jackson both married the same woman, and that's also true, Lisa Marie Presley. So yeah, they both married the same woman, so true for number 4. And number 5, the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France, and that is true. And number 6, the first tea bag was made of silk, and that is true as well. And number 7, Meghan Markle's first name is actually Rachel. That's also true. And number 8 was a female has walked on the moon, and that is, of course, false. And number 9, Netflix began as a DVD rental service, and that is true. I didn't know that, but it's true. And number 10 of round 1, Canada as the biggest or largest coastline of any country in the world, and that is true. So that's your true and false round. So over to round 2, which was the music mix-up. And this week it was a mixture of years, so just to keep it a variety, let's say. And number 1, who is the lead singer of Pulp? And that, of course, is Jarvis Cocker. It's Jarvis Cocker, number 1. And number 2, who had a hit with Mbop in April 97? And that is Hanson. And number 3, which former Beatle had a number 1 hit with Stevie Wonder in 1982? And that was Paul McCartney. And number 4, which Frankie Goes to Hollywood song was banned by the BBC? And that was the song Relax. And number 5, which children characters from Wimbledon Common released several novelty singles in the 70s, and of course it was the Wombles from Wimbledon Common. So the Wombles for number 5. At number 6, John Denver's Take Me Home Country Road is about which US state? And it is, of course, West Virginia. At number 7, how many UK number 1s did Elvis Presley have in the 60s? And that's 11. So 11 in the 60s for Elvis. At number 8, which American singer-songwriter sang of Falling Into a Ring of Fire? And that was Johnny Cash. And number 9, which British boy band made a comeback with the song Patience? And that's Take That. Take That with a comeback. And number 10, in the 2000s, what year did Kings of Leon release their chart topper Sex on Fire? And it's 2008. It's 2008 for number 10, round 2. And on to round number 3, was the food and drink round, the last one of this half. And the answers for food and drink. Question 1. What is James Bond's favourite tipple? Should have all got this one. The vodka martini. Of course, shaken not stirred. Of course. So the vodka martini, number 1. And number 2. What type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? And that's vermicelli. And number 3. Which nuts are used in marzipan? And that's almonds. And number 4, which bakery launched a sell-out vegan sausage roll in January 2019? Of course, that was Greggs. And number 5, what's the best-selling soup flavour in the UK? Tomato. Tomato, number 5. And number 6, how many calories does a glass of water contain? And it's 0. Bit of a trick, but 0. We should have all got that, I think. Number 7, grenadine is obtained from which fruit? And that's pomegranate. And number 8, deer meat is known by what name? And that's venison. Number 9, Bacardi is what type of spirit? And that's white rum. And number 10, from which type of flower does a vanilla pod come from? And of course it's the orchid. So there we go, that's round number 3. So how have you done in those first 3 rounds? What sort of scores have you got? Let me know in the comments. Just type a quick comment in there and let me know where you're up to so far for the first half. And just while you do that, I'll just prepare. And let's move on to round number 4. Okay, so round number 4 then, the general knowledge round. So a little bit of everything for us here. So here we go with question 1. What part of a plant conducts photosynthesis? I'm amazed I managed to say that right. But number 1, what part of a plant conducts photosynthesis? And number 2, with over 222 million units sold, what is Apple's highest selling iPhone model? So we're just after the model of phone. So number 2, with over 222 million units sold, what is Apple's highest selling iPhone model? And number 3, who plays comedy character Alan Partridge? So number 3, who plays comedy character Alan Partridge? Number 4, if you completed the 3 Peaks challenge, you would have climbed Scafell Pike and Ben Nevis, but what's the third? So number 4, what's missing? If you completed a 3 Peaks challenge, you'd have climbed Scafell Pike and Ben Nevis, but what's the third one you would have climbed? And number 5, what year in the 90s was the Nintendo 64 released in Europe? So number 5, in the 90s, which year was the Nintendo 64 released in Europe? And number 6, how many elements are in the periodic table? So, what number am I looking for? Number 6, how many elements are in the periodic table? And number 7, in which year did the original UK version of The Office, so the better version, the UK one. Number 7, in which year did the original UK version of The Office air? And number 8, which US state was Donald Trump born in? So number 8, which US state was Donald Trump born in? And number 9, Noel and Liam Gallagher from Oasis, of course, have an older brother, but what's his name? So number 9, Noel and Liam Gallagher from Oasis have an older brother, but what's his name? Just looking for his first name, obviously. So of course it's going to be Gallagher. And number 10, at which venue is the British Grand Prix held? So it should be a nice easy one, or is it? But number 10, at which venue is the British Grand Prix held? And that's your round 4 complete. General knowledge, hopefully you made up some extra points there. But time will tell, we shall see. So let's move over to the last and final round, round number 5, which is something a little bit different this week. Okay, so this one is slightly different, with it being the Wednesday night quiz as well. So it is round 5, and it's on action movies. So it's a little bit more of a speed round. There's only 5 questions in this one, but it's a chance just to get some extra few points, last few points before we do the final scores. And if any of you are observant enough, the dogs have changed positions. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so Milo's doing his 3-peak challenge in the background. Let's carry on then. So last round, round number 5, chance to pick up a few more points. 5 questions only in this one. And question number 1, how many actors have played James Bond in total? So question 1, how many actors have played James Bond? And there have been quite a few. Let's see if you can guess them all. Not the names, just the number. Barely settle now as well. Number 2, what's the main character called in Die Hard? So the actual character in Die Hard, what's the main character called? And number 3, what causes John Wick to return to his old life of crime in John Wick, of course. So number 3, what causes John Wick to return to his old life of crime? And number 4, who plays John J. Rambo in Rambo? So what's the name of the actor who plays John Rambo in Rambo? In question number 5, told you it was a quick round. What iconic weapon does the bride use in Kill Bill? So cast your minds back to the Kill Bill film. What iconic weapon does the bride use in Kill Bill? And that's it, your round 5 complete. That was a quick fire round, and it certainly was. It was only a few minutes long. But a chance to get even just a couple of extra points to add to your final scores. So to do that, we shall go through the scores and the answers, for rounds 4 and the quick fire round. Okay, so here are the answers then. Round number 4 first, of course, that was the general knowledge round. And number 1, what part of a plant conducts photosynthesis? And you were cocking up at some point.
Photosynthesis.
There we go, Sam's just corrected me. Photosynthesis. So number 1, the answer is leaf. So I don't need to say it again. So number 1, the general knowledge round, the answer is leaf. In number 2, hopefully you get this right and pronouncing everything. With over 222 million, got it wrong again, didn't I? Million. With over 222 million units sold, what is Apple's highest selling iPhone model? And it's the iPhone 6/6 Plus. So if you've got iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, you get a point. Apparently it was the best selling one. Number 3, who plays comedy character Alan Partridge? And that is, of course, Steve Coogan. Steve Coogan, number 3. And number 4, if you completed the 3 Peaks Challenge, you'd have climbed Scafell Pike and Ben Nevis. And the missing one was Snowdon. So Snowdon for number 4. And number 5, what year in the 90s was the Nintendo 64 released in Europe? And that's 1997. And number 6, how many elements are there in the periodic table? And it's 118. It's 118 for number 6. And number 7, in which year did the original UK version of The Office air? And that's 2001. A great show that, I enjoyed that myself. Well, 2001 for number 7. And number 8, which US state was Donald Trump born in? And that's New York. So number 9, Noel and Liam Gallagher from Oasis have an older brother. And what's his name? And it is Paul Gallagher. If you're a big Oasis fan, you'd have got that. So Paul Gallagher, number 9. And number 10, which venue is the British Grand Prix held? And of course that was, or is, Silverstone. So there we go, that's round number 4. Hopefully you made up some points there. And on to round number 5, the action movies quick fire round. Sounds so dramatic. But round number 5 then. Number 1, how many actors have played James Bond in total? And that's 9 separate actors. And number 2, what's the main character called in Die Hard? And that is John McClane. And number 3, what causes John Wick to return to his old life of crime? And that's due to his dog's murder. Never actually seen John Wick, but his dog's murder caused him to go back to crime. Answer number 3. And number 4, who plays John Rambo in Rambo? And of course it's Sylvester Stallone. And number 5, what iconic weapon does the bride in Kill Bill use? And it's the samurai sword. So samurai sword number 5. And that's it. That's your answers for every round. So, just to hopefully tally them scores up. Let me know in the comments what your actual final scores are and see what you're getting. So, it should be out of 45 in total if I've got that correct. But yeah, 45 this week. So, thanks very much for playing along. Like I say, it's the first Wednesday night quiz, so it's just an extra quiz than normal. Hopefully you'll join me on Friday for the big quiz. The big quiz live on Facebook and also available here on YouTube as well. If you haven't already, please just consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and hit the bell notification so that you'll get updates whenever any new material is uploaded, i.e. the bonus quizzes or any of the big quizzes, the Wednesday night quiz or the Friday night quiz that we do. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, give us a like on Facebook because a lot of the information goes on there as well. So, thanks very much for playing along. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was my first Wednesday one anyway, so I hope it was okay. And yeah, please do let me know your scores in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up as well. That'd be very much appreciated. So, thanks very much. Have a good week, and I will see you all on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Thanks very much.